Okay. Is it going on your end?
I am
Is,
redirecting.
is it going on your end?
I am redirect. I'm here. It was like,
Are we here? Okay, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Oh my gosh. I know it's been crazy. It's been a crazy couple weeks. Well, we're back on schedule again. Still kind of working out the kinks with our Zoom issues and Facebook. They're not working well together. So we apologize. So, with that again, happy Wednesday. I hope you're enjoying this weather. It's absolutely beautiful and you had a wonderful Labor Day with your family. And I'm just excited about our topic today. I know the kids have already gone back to school, they've just started, but we have some organizing ideas that I am so excited about because I just almost want to have kids again that I could be a parent so I could do all these organizing tips. We didn't have all these things when we were at our kids. Things would have been different. Debbie, how are you today?
good. Sorry, I had to look down for a minute because
That's all right.
if anybody knows anything about Zoom and Facebook Live and everything, they've changed it like 16 times. Okay.
Yeah.
And they change all these different things. Like just when you think you're logging in and you're doing this and you're sharing it and you're doing and so the little steps we have to take in order to get it to work smooth. But and then when they do an upgrade and then they make you sign into Facebook and then like, wait a minute, what's my Facebook ID? And I mean, it's just nuts. Okay. So anyways, but yes, I'm doing great. The weather's beautiful. It's weird because it's fall, and I literally put today a little pumpkin thing outside. Not a lot of pumpkin stuff, but just little by little, I'll trickle it out there. It always feels good. But I miss the summer, but I also like fall because it's so nice and beautiful, and the weather's great. And yes, school started, and but the subject that Lori, you were looking at and you found it is a subject that actually can apply to any part of the school year or shall I say any part of our life, really. Some of these practical principles, I'm pulling it up right now, are just like so easy to actually kind of like go over and kind of let's just say let's take this as a motivation to do whatever we have to do. And some of the things that we're going to talk about, if you're a mother or a grandmother or a caregiver or a nanny or a after school care or what whoever you are, right? Um a parent or anything, you need some ideas to keep yourself organized. And honestly, Lori and I can say, oh, yeah, we feel like we're organized. But then again, I can tell you sometimes I feel like I'm so unorganized. I mean, I feel like I could be overly organized and then overdo it and not and forget other things. So hopefully some of the points we talk about today will actually motivate you. That's our goal, right? Right, Laura?
Motivation. Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah. And
turning to
you
you.
know what? It is just amazing too, because we're looking at some of this stuff. And if you go to the dollar store now, there's so many things for school and there's so many things to get organized with. And now Dollar Tree has the new section where you get $3 and $5 things. There's so many organizing things. And I just want you to take note of that. Before we start too, we should go on Pinterest and look at organizing ideas.
Hmm.
Because I'm telling you, after reading all these different ideas, it's like, wow, this is so great. It will make the school year go by so fast and stuff. So with that, Deb, you want to talk about the first one that we saw that was awesome?
Of course. Okay, so stock up on school supplies, that one. So basically, honestly, you guys, I will have to say that every year we buy extra school supplies, and always have them here because if you're gonna go out, if you get them at the beginning of the year, now they're still a good price, okay? And
Yes.
probably even now if you jump in there and get them. But you all need school supplies in your house too, just for basics. And then the kids come home, they leave all their school supplies at school, but then, oh, I have to color my my homework or whatever, or I have to do, use colored pencils or whatever they have to do. And if you go to the store and think about it, if you go to the dollar store, like Lori said, which I'm a big, huge pro fan for that, and maybe your child needs a poster board, get two. Just because if they make a mistake, number one or number two, you also have an extra one. But also hand sanitizers and ways that you can keep yourself organized. There's bins, there's all kinds of stuff. You know, we were talking a little bit earlier about there's a company called Temu, Temu. They have clothes, but they have so many organizer things, you know, and they're very inexpensive. I don't know how the quality is, but you know what? I mean, these days, how is some of the quality even at some of the more pricier places is pretty much the same, you know? So anyways, and also one thing too that I think that's really important is making sure that you're reading the checklist accurately at the school, making sure you're getting what you need. And then also, you know, the checklist that you need to have around your home for the supplies that you guys need to have for your own, even your home office, you know? I mean, how many times do you go have to copy something or have a stapler and you got a staple and you have no staples left or something, you know? So um, definitely want to keep on that. And then I want to just add one more thing into that. And I'm going to turn it to Lori, but I think this is a crazy good idea. And I think for a busy household, everybody may have their own style of calendars, but I'll tell you what, I have a calendar like this, okay, that goes like this and closes. But I also duplicate the same exact thing on my phone. So it's mobile with me and then I keep checking it. But I thought, I hope I can show this picture. This is the coolest thing ever. I hope you guys
Yeah,
can.
you can see it. You can see it. Yeah.
Okay, it's
God.
called the command center. And I have a bulletin board. That's kind of my command center. But how many people have busy lives and it's not just school? It's, oh, when's so and so's birthday party? When is the wedding? When is, you know, whatever? When's that volleyball game? When's that whatever? And if everything's in a central location, every family member knows where to go check instead of like calling mom or grandma or grandpa or
Right,
even the
right.
dads. They're bugging the mom. Well, when's the next this or when's practice? You know, so guys, command center is awesome. So Laura, I'm turning it over to you.
Yeah, you know what? I want to bring up something that, it's kind of in this whole idea of what we're talking about. Years ago, when my kids were younger, I had one room in the house, and I talked about this before, where we had no TV. And that was the room like the talking. Okay, you have a section in your house like that. And it was funny because it used to be like this. One person sits in there for some reason in a house and everybody starts sitting there. And then we just start talking. It's just amazing without no distraction. Wouldn't it be cool? This is a great way to teach your kids, especially kids that are maybe junior high, high school, or whatever. Have a meeting time. We could sit down, you have the planner out, and let's talk about what this next week's gonna be. Even
Yeah.
for the little younger kids, I don't even think it's too bad. Maybe third grade and on. And you kind of say, okay, this is what the week is, okay? James has to go to soccer on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And who's gonna pick him up? And even the dad there, and everybody kind of talks about it
Yeah.
because this will teach the kids how to be organized so that when they go grow up and they go into a job, they're actually, what is that, time management? Would you
Yeah.
consider that?
Yeah,
They
totally.
learn that. I never did that really with my kids. We did talk about what we were going to do for the week and stuff like that, but not like if I had to do it different and with all the technology and everything is now, and the kids have their own tablets and this, that, and the other, and they can put stuff on their calendars and stuff too. But one way with no distractions, no TVs or anything. Just sit down as a family and kind of say, this is kind of what's going to happen this week. I know might sound crazy because everybody's so over busy, but wouldn't it be worth it if the kids have it in their mind what that's going to happen during the week, and you're also teaching them something?
Well, yeah, and here's the thing with like I can attest to the fact that our grandson, he has all these games and everything. Well, there's times where like we can't physically get him everywhere, but then
Yeah,
another
right,
parent we've got a couple of carpool things that we deal with on both sides that we do. And I mean, you got to see that's a good time to game plan and see if you need to take advantage of something like that instead of at the
right,
11th
right,
hour
right,
because,
right.
so I love that idea, Lori. I think it's great, you know.
Yeah, how many of you go on to the next one? Kind of lost it on my computer here.
That's okay. Mine just went too, so don't worry. Okay, so I'm back to it, but it's so weird. It keeps popping up and oh my goodness gracious. I love
Oh, I
iPad.
know it's about having a calendar, and so I could talk about
It
that.
was uh,
Have some
oh yeah, the weekly planner thing, which I'm
yeah,
totally
it's just kind of
Yep.
what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, you have a weekly planner, but like I said, these kids, they all have these tablets. Even my lyric that's 8 gonna be 9. I gave her a phone, she's got her tablet. I gave her a phone so she could communicate with me. Not that I wanted her to
Right.
have a phone to call people, except me. But
Mhm.
but the thing is, having the whole, I think that's good. I'm just thinking about it more and more. Do you know what kind of skill those kids are going to have if they have one, time management, two, they know what's going on, so they could plan their day too, and also going back to having the school supplies and having them organized. That's going to take so much time off of them, of dilly-dallying and running around looking for this stuff.
Well,
Now,
oh sorry.
no, you
I was
go.
gonna say, does Lyric have like I got my one for next year already because I hit like my 2025, which I
Yeah,
downsized a little bit, which just by a couple inches, but I thought it's easier to throw in my purse.
yeah.
But my grandson has one that the school provided for them in their grouping of supplies. And he brings it home every night and it's got like his homework in there and then it has to be signed by an adult. So I don't know if all the
I
schools.
don't know. Lyric just started school yesterday, so I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'll talk to her about it too. If not, they have them at the dollar store. Lyric is kind of really organized, and I noticed with a lot of these kids,
Mhm.
especially kids that have ADHD or ADD, they need to be organized.
Yes.
The more they're organized, the better they're going to be as students
Right.
because their minds run all over the place.
Right.
Having a child that had that issue, I understand. And it's
Totally.
like, I think the more you get organized and I learn those skills,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of all over the place too. I have issues with stuff like that. And I wish I would have learned more of these kind of skills as being young, but times have changed. Times have changed. They know what works for people. And they're,
True.
see how busy families are. Busy families are even busy on Sundays.
Mhm.
There's sports events on Sundays.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
you're involved in a church, you go to church on Sundays, and the kids might be doing some kind of program or Sunday school on Sundays. I mean, there's a lot going on.
There is a
There's
lot.
no more days of where it's just downtime.
No, there's not. And it's
And
not, and I'll tell you something just to add on to that, just to tag team for a second. The older generation, older than you and I, okay, because I'm gonna say we're not the oldest generation, they don't understand.
they don't.
And they have a really hard time with it, even as busy at the busy generation we are, but and then look at the generation, the other generations, like our kids and then our grandkids, and they just say it's wrong, you guys shouldn't be like this. But it's almost like everything's pushed 10 years farther. I was saying this the other day to people about how like we thought, oh, it's 60, 62, you're going to retire. Well, no, it's like 70, 72, 75, 77. That's what people are looking at. And so, it's just making everybody busier. That's all.
Yeah, and a lot of grandparents are taking care of their grandkids.
Mhm.
I mean, I did that with Lyric and Pete for a while, but now I don't. But I know you are with Mariano, and you're running around doing stuff, and
Mhm.
it's actually a joy for a lot of us. I think it keeps us young in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really think about it. It keeps us young in another way. I'm
I
gonna go
just, yeah.
on to the next thing, and then I know Debbie will talk a little bit more about this, but
Yeah.
get your entryway of your house in order. I know a lot of people have set up places in their entranceway. Some people call them mud rooms in there, where they have it where you can hang your coats up, hang your backpack, hang your lunch box, all that stuff, your shoes. You My granddaughter, when I was over by my son's house, they have a bin where Josie puts her schoolwork in and any papers for her mom to see and everything. Because what happens is they come home from school, the back gets thrown, should they throw their shoes off? One shoe's over here, one shoe's over there. And it's just the hours and time spent looking for all these things. It's just crazy. What do you think about that, Deb? I know you are real organized with things.
I have something to add on to that happened really cool. First of all, I don't have the room, well, I don't have the room to actually have a wall that does it, but I have like hooks, and that's where Mariano puts his coat and his stuff. But I have a traditional coat, they call them like a rolling coat hanger or coat.
Okay.
Right. But it actually, I have one that's kind of metal and it has like a kind of thing that comes up. And then at the bottom, it has a platform. So it's like that's supposed to be where shoes go. And then and it's really nice because it fits in this one little corner and it could be moved somewhere else. Well, we have claimed that to be Mariano's sports place. So as soon as all his football jerseys, anything that he has to go, like his volleyball jersey, his flag football stuff, everything gets cleaned and it gets hung there. And then he puts the bag in front of it, a sports bag. So then all his sporting stuff is in that zone and the door is right there.
Oh,
And
yeah, that's awesome.
and then his shoulder pads can go, it's not ideal. I really don't like it, but we kind of like hang them over the top and his helmet goes down on the bottom. So it's like, okay, that consumes him. Now, when football's over, then all that gets moved and we kind of free it up because then it's more winter time and we could use it for coats for people when they come over. But it's kind of if you ever seen like even a rack that you see in a store for clothes.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
that's
anybody is looking
cool.
for that idea, because here's the problem. The problem, I've heard it over and over, and now that I'm helping out coach for him this year again, it kind of, it's like, okay, these parents get these dirty clothes that come home. Okay, now if they don't separate them out right away, and then they've got the uniform, and this kid needs this jersey because they have to wear it, that's got to get back somewhere where the kid finds it in case the
Right.
parent isn't the one taking them. I mean, I see how utter chaos can happen in a household in the matter of a short time. So I scoop up, and I might be doing an extra load of laundry, but I scoop all of his junk up and I'm like, give it to me. Okay. Socks, everything. Give me the whole thing. Do a
Yeah.
quick wash on it and then hang it up wet overnight so that
Yeah.
it's there. I don't know, you guys. I remember the days where it would be like we'd be scrambling for uniforms, school uniforms for school. Like, and this one, put this one here.
Ah,
And here's an idea
nostalgia.
for any people that are in the Catholic parochial or even in the Chicago parochial or uniform situation, right? Hopefully your school does this. Our school has a resale, and these people bring in, and we have donated a ton of stuff, but we were buying shirts that were $30-$40 for $5 because people would just donate them and then they'd resell it, make a profit, and it goes back to the school. I I told my daughter, I go, we're getting lots of shirts for him and a lot of stuff so that we don't have to freak out when we're like, don't get that load of laundry. So I'm just telling
Yeah.
people if you have, or you could barter with some family if you've got situations with clothes too, where I know this is kind of a little off topic, but it's staying organized where
Yeah.
maybe you can swap.
Yeah.
Old
Oh,
kids,
yeah.
you know.
That's awesome. And that is our organizing thing. Like I said, I'm sitting there listening to all this and going, oh my God, I'm just remembering all the
Yeah.
screaming in the morning. And I
Oh,
remember Tony had glasses once when he was younger, and we couldn't find the glasses, and we looked and looked. And 3 months later, we found it in a bushel of socks that were not matched. I mean, stupid stuff like that.
how about they don't bring the lunchbox home or the water
Yeah.
bottle? Nowadays, most of
Yeah.
the schools have the sinks where you can refill your water bottle, and they encourage
Yeah.
that, and they let them have it on their desk. Well, they
Yeah.
don't bring it home, so then you're scrambling for something. But then if they don't have the lunchbox, okay, so it's like, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I give kudos to the kids today because we can help them together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip the next one because it's about, your beginning of your school picture. I'm gonna
Oh,
go
yeah.
to organizing your desk.
No, good
Because
one.
that's so cool. I mean, everybody could have their own desk or, a section in the house where they could do homework. Do a homework section or whatever. And I'm just like you guys have your own, us adults have our computer sections where we do bills and all that. Have that all organized. Get the bins at the dollar store or that Temu that Debbie's talking about. Have paper in there, have your pens in there. You have some books that you have, put your thing where your bills. But for the kids, you have all the stuff like Debbie and I were talking about earlier about the pencils, the crayons, and all that. But you have it all organized for them so that they can organize it themselves. Yeah, let them do it because it gives them responsibility. So that's where they're at when they do their homework and they're not being disturbed by anybody. That
This thing,
yeah,
I
that's
want one of those.
cool. I know.
That is so cool, Lori, on this
Yeah,
thing. Lori
yeah,
finds things. Okay, so Lori, maybe we could attach this and share it, but
yeah. I'll
the
share
whole
it.
thing. But look at how cool that is because for minimal space, it goes up and it's like
Yeah,
the more stuff they have these days, it's just incredible,
it is. It's incredible. And so yeah, and then we were just talking about a homework station. Now these things kind of do a
Yeah,
homework station. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean, even if you have a small place, make a whole homework section. You could get tables and stuff like that and chairs at the Goodwill or
Yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I shop at Goodwill all the time. So with that, if you want to go on to the next one,
Oh
this is
yes.
the one.
Okay. Label, 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 label. Okay, you guys, or a permanent marker, whatever. Do you know how many times I've seen my grandson come home without like his sweatshirt and I'm like,
Mhm.
where's your sweatshirt? So anyways, that's definitely a big thing. And I mean, you don't have to go to the fanciest labels and you can find ways of doing it. But I think that, I mean, with the amount of money that people spend on everything, we'll have all of the supplies labeled. I'm sure like most of the schools do it a lot of times with like just the ones that you could do on the computer, but definitely definitely do that. But also moving to the next one, which is kind of that label is probably the easy thing, is organize the closet. Okay, per season too, so that you can find things with the storage bins and mark it and try to find ways that you can pull your stuff out. Lori was talking about a great thing about her granddaughter, how cute she is and she organizes all her clothes out and stuff. But that's built into that little girl. She's so sweet, Lyric. That's the way she is. But not every kid is like that. So you
Yeah,
have to force them to do it. But if you keep showing them how to do it and having them help you and make decisions, if you have to pick clothes out, they're gonna, it's part of, it's like they're gonna have to do it when they're older, but if they learn that when they're younger, how do I pick out what works with what? I like this. How many times have you ever seen when the kids were smaller, Lori, and you pick something out and they're like, I don't want to wear that.
yeah,
You're like, okay, at the last 11th hour, you're like trying to
yeah.
figure out, you're like,
Right,
we're gonna be late,
right,
you know. So
right. You know
all
what they have,
over.
what I've seen so many different places. I've seen it where, especially for people that don't have a lot of space, where you get bins on it and you can put Monday to put the days of the week on there.
Yeah,
And then you put their clothes in there, what they're gonna wear each day. And this is where we could talk to, and I know it's maybe giving the kids too much power, but I don't think so. Because I think it teaches them organizational skills and making right choices.
yeah.
Have them help you pick out the clothes for each day they want to wear. And have it in their underwear, socks, even if I mean, shoes, I don't know if you would want to put them in the bin, but because basically don't have that many pair of shoes. But different things, a shirt, a top, a skirt, or, whatever.
Totally. You know what? We're getting a little tight
I
on time.
know we are, and this is so great.
Number 13, though. You and I have to
I'm
talk
going
about
on
this.
down there.
Go to 13.
Oh, yeah.
This is key, guys. And I will tell you, I've been bad at this, but I've been good at it, but I've been bad at it.
Yeah.
Have a short chart. Laura, you do that. I remember that one time. What was that one you would do too? Stop, drop, and clean or whatever.
Yeah, my thing was I had the timer on the microwave, and when
Oh
I
yeah.
saw things got a little out of hand in the house, I'd say, okay, it's stop, drop, and clean. And wherever you were at in the house, you had to clean for 15 minutes. And when the buzzer went off, you were done. I can't tell you how much stuff I got done with those kids.
Oh yeah.
Because, it's like wherever they're at in the house, most likely made the mess where they're at. So, but
Did
yeah, tour charts.
wait one sec, did you add music to that? Because that would be fun.
No, I didn't, but that
We,
would have
well,
been good.
now that we think of it, right?
Yeah, like the Benny Hill music. That would have been great.
But short chart, yeah. Well, how Laura, yeah, don't, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
basic. That's a good one.
yeah, that's huge. And I think again, that's having that whole meeting. And parents are probably thinking, oh, what is she crazy? We don't have time for that. Well, think about the positive things about it, what it's going to do for you. How much time it's going to take, and the kids are all aware of then what they're going to be supposed to be doing. I know things change, but you can tell them, I know things change, but this is kind of the gist of what it's going to be.
Totally. Totally. There is, when you get a second, look at more of the things down below. We could do a whole nother segment on that.
Oh,
I-
yeah, yeah, we could. And you know what? I think we're going to have to drop it where we're at now. And I
yeah, I
need
think we
to
should pick
because
up
I,
on,
I
yeah,
think this is so great. Well, if we don't get somebody to interview next week, let's just finish this out.
let's finish
How's
this
that
out because
sound?
there's some really good ideas I saw in there. And I was like, even like
Yeah,
in laundry and dinners and stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, but anyway, so, well, we are very appreciative to everybody following us.
Yes.
We're definitely having some fun. We've got some great interviews coming up. We've had some great past interviews that we just did recently that were a lot of fun. And I know it's brought us some new faces, and we just appreciate all you guys, uh, reaching out and helping us grow because we're having a good time. We're having fun. Again, remember, we're no experts and we just have fun
Right,
doing this. And
right.
you want to help close us out?
I will. I hope that everyone has a wonderful, wonderful day and the rest of the week, and enjoy the weekend. Maybe start thinking about go apple picking and stuff like that with your family before those times are over. But with that, I'm going to say I'm Lori,
I'm Debbie.
and we're friends helping friends. We'll see you next Wednesday. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.